have a chance. Richarlison cuts it back. Oh, what a goal! First up! It's just the 5th minute.
Still Lewandowski. Still Doski. Finds Dembele, and Dembele scores an equaliser. What a pass from Lewandowski. He has been the best player. He has actually got 2 assists. One of Gavi's goal and now Dembele's goal.
And City wins! City won the match. Manchester City won the match.
Alright guys, first game in action. It is Barcelona taking on AC Milan. As you can see, Marcus Rashford has scored 2 goals in his last game. Can he keep up his form? Up next, we have Werder Bremen taking on Blackburn Rovers at the Weserstadion. Both these teams look to have a top half finish here because if they actually do it, this could be beneficial for them. But who's going to get it? Will it be Bremen or Rovers? Tune in to find out. The last game of the match of the day fixture is going to be the game of the season, as it's going to be Bayern Munich taking on Manchester United right here at the Allianz Stadium. Will Manchester United bounce back from their terrible start, or will Bayern Munich prove too strong? We're just going to see and find out. Good day everybody, and welcome to the Brisbane05Blaster Champions League, where champions rise. In last match of the day, we've had so many thrillers. Eintracht Frankfurt won an absolute thriller against Monaco. Dortmund defeated Bayern Munich in the Klassiker. And Real Madrid and Juventus ended in a 1-1 draw. Even though they've had a lot to play for, they just couldn't find the winner. And yeah, those were the recap from last week's match of the week, or last episode's match of the week. But now in this match of the week, we're going to be filled with so many games. Starting with Barcelona taking on AC Milan at Catalonia. Then we have Werder Bremen taking on Blackburn Rovers. And last match of the day, it is Bayern Munich taking on Manchester United. So, as if you didn't know about the other 2 games I've told you, Werder Bremen and Blackburn Rovers, the match has taken place at the Weserstadion in Bremen. And Bayern Munich taking on Manchester United is taking place at the Allianz. Not the Juventus Allianz, but you know, the Allianz in Munich. But anyway, we're going to start with the first match of the day week, where we have Barcelona taking on AC Milan. So of course they've had 2 huge wins, beating Manchester United and Blackburn Rovers. So they're up against an up in form AC Milan, where of course in their last match week they managed to beat FC Nantes. So hopefully they can actually start their form here, because they did had some underwhelming results. Yes, they've had a perfect start beating Deportivo La Coruna, but then lost to Real Madrid, bounced back beating FC Nantes. So this could be a bit of a pickle here for AC Milan, but we're going to see how it goes. But for Barcelona, on the other hand, they're probably going to be going unchanged, because of course they're going to go with the same lineup that have actually destroyed Blackburn Rovers and Manchester United. So they don't want to make any changes for this formation. Given the fact that Marcus Rashford is literally performing so well, they're not going to make a single change for this lineup. And I have a feeling that this game is going to be very interesting. So yeah, Barcelona and AC Milan both are kind of 2 best European teams. AC Milan are like the 2nd best European team, whereas Barcelona, they're not the best, but they do have a fight in them. So that's all I got to say from here. But anyway guys, I really hope you enjoyed this one. Please make sure to like and subscribe. Without further ado, let's get to Camp Nou to see Barcelona and AC Milan fight for 3 points and glory. We're here at the Camp Nou to see what will be a very good game here. Barcelona take on AC Milan. And I can't wait for this clash, because Barcelona and AC Milan, both these teams have had possibly their near perfect start to the campaign. I mean, as you can see, let's take a look at Barca's table. They're literally 3rd place to AC Milan's 8th place. But given the fact that anything can happen, we just don't know right now. But anyway, guys, like, this is going to be very interesting, because Barcelona and AC Milan, like I said initially, Barcelona and AC Milan, they've had history. I mean, in Champions League and everything, even the finals. But yeah, Barcelona, in their last 3 games, they drew to Dortmund, but won their respective 2 games against Manchester United and Blackburn Rovers. Whereas AC Milan, on the other hand, they won their 2 games out of 3, winning against Deportivo La Coruna, losing to Real Madrid, but then bouncing back, beating FC Nantes, Can they actually keep up their form? Can they fight back against a relatively big European team? But anyway, guys, let's take a look at Barcelona's starting lineup. They're going with a 4-2-3-1 formation. As you can see, Juan Garcia is in goal with Jules Koundé, Kubasi, Inigo Martinez, Balde, Pedri, De Jong, Yamal, Olmo, Rafinha and Marcus Rashford, who's literally the player to watch. Hansi Flick is the manager here. And now let's take a look at AC Milan's starting lineup. And they're going with a 4-1-2-1-2 formation. Maignan is the captain. Jimenez, Tomori, Malik Thiaw, Estupinian, Fofana, Pulisic, Leao, Luka Modric, Okafor and Jimenez. And yeah, Maignan is the captain. But anyway, Barcelona and AC Milan action is coming right up. And it's live. Looks like Barcelona will be the one to kick off first. And they're going for a strange punt. Which is kind of strange, to be fair, because this has never happened. But anyway. But looks like AC Milan will have the possession of the ball. Leao finds Modric. Modric to Leao. Leao makes a wonderful cross here. But Okafor gets the ball back from De Jong. It's AC Milan on the attack. It's still Okafor, who's right now been in form. 3 goals in 3 games. Here's Santiago Jimenez, finds Fofana. Fofana to Okafor. But what a tackle here from Barcelona as they get this one away. Lamine Yamal makes a wonderful pass. Here's Dani Olmo. Dani Olmo to Rashford. Rashford to Yamal. Back to Rashford. Rashford to Olmo. Olmo to Lamine Yamal. Lamine Yamal, he's through, but he butchered his shot as Maignan makes a simple save. That could have been an opening goal here from Barcelona if it wasn't for Yamal's awful shot. But anyway, Barcelona, they still need to strike. They still need to keep on adding the pressure because they have the momentum right now. 2 wins already on the trot. Can they make it 3? Right now, here's Rashford, but he somehow gets tackled and dispossessed. Right now, AC Milan's on the attack is Fofana. And as I already told you, Rashford is the player to watch. Scored 7 goals in the last 2 games he featured. Scored 5 against United and then scored a brace against Blackburn Rovers. Right now, here's Jules Koundé. He makes a wonderful cross here. I don't know who went for the shot. Was that Dani Olmo? I think it is. He tried to match the ball correctly. Tried to go for a header. But just couldn't meet the target. As AC Milan get this one away. That could have been an opening blow here from Barcelona. That could have gone in. But anyway, AC Milan are lucky because that went off target. Maignan's the one to take it. He finds Malik Thiaw. Thiaw to Estupinian. Estupinian to Fofana. Back to Thiaw. Then to Estupinian. But he makes a bit of a mistake. Luckily for them, it did hit Lamine Yamal in the process. So it's going to be a throw-in for AC Milan. And Leao is going to be the one to take it. He finds Fofana. Fofana makes a cross again. So going to find the player. It doesn't. It actually finds one of the Barca players. Here's Jules Koundé. Jules Koundé finds Lamine Yamal. Lamine Yamal back to Jules Koundé. Still Koundé. Koundé to Dani Olmo. But it just gets dispossessed. And AC Milan get this one away. But it's still with Barcelona. We're already almost done with the first quarter of this game. Nothing to be separated here. Marcus Rashford to Dani Olmo. Dani Olmo to Rafinha, the captain. Finds Pedri. Pedri to Olmo. Olmo to Rafinha. Still Rafinha. Rafinha to Pedri. But what a tackle. And here's Luka Modric, the former El Clasico rival. He finds Okafor. Still Okafor. Still no Okafor. Is he going to find Modric? He does. It's Modric, but what a tackle here from Inigo Martinez, if I'm correct. And now here's De Jong. De Jong to Dani Olmo. Dani Olmo to Pedri. Pedri back to Olmo. Olmo to Balde. But Balde's pass was not textbook as it just gets dispossessed and intercepted. Right now, AC Milan are on the attack. Here's Leao. Still Leao. Still the Portuguese wizard, but what a tackle here from Lamine Yamal. He did track back, but then lost the ball. And now here's Fofana. Fofana to Pulisic. Still Pulisic. Pulisic to Jimenez. Jimenez shoots and he scores. The young Mexican scores the opening goal here for AC Milan. And boy, they needed that goal after so much of defending here, because they deserved it after a wonderful link-up play here. You can see the replay. What a pass from Pulisic. And what a finish from the young Mexican, Santiago Jimenez, who's actually born as an Argentinian, by the way, fun fact. But then he actually changed his nationality to Mexican, and he has actually scored what would have been the best and opening goal for AC Milan. Not the best, but the opening blow here for AC Milan. And right now, Santiago Jimenez is on the score sheet as he scores the opening goal for AC Milan. Can Barcelona come back? They've done this before. They've been trailing for the 4th time. They've done this against Dortmund. They've basically done this against Dortmund. They've done it against Manchester United, then against Rovers, and now against AC Milan. But can this be the 4th time that they can score the equalizing goal or not? Here's Jimenez. Still Jimenez. Jimenez to Leao. Still Rafa Leao. What a tackle here. Here's De Jong. He finds Olmo. Still Dani Olmo. Dani Olmo to Lamine Yamal. Yamal to Olmo. Olmo to Koundé. Koundé to Yamal. Yamal to De Jong. Still De Jong. De Jong to Pedri. Still Pedri to Olmo. Olmo back to Pedri. Pedri to Rafinha. Rafinha to Pedri. Oh, Yamal. Yamal almost had the opportunity, but he squandered his shot. I'm pretty sure that was Olmo, Pedri, who actually made the pass, but Yamal scuffed his shot. And now here's Olmo again. Olmo to Yamal. Yamal to Koundé. Still Koundé. Koundé to De Jong. De Jong to Olmo. Olmo to Pedri. Rafinha. Rafinha to Olmo. Olmo shoots. And what a dink. What a dink one from Olmo there. That was like cold chip shot here from Dani Olmo. A cold-blooded chip shot. That was actually a wonderful pass here from Rafinha. Tiki-taka that too. And a wonderful finish here from Dani Olmo there. Like seriously, that was a chip shot. Magnan was literally out of position. He couldn't save that. And this is the 4th time Barcelona has equalized the game after trailing. The 4th time in a row. This is literally their mantra. They trail, but then they actually find they find their way to get themselves back into the game. But anyway, here's Yamal. Yamal to Olmo. Olmo to Pedri. Pedri to Olmo. Olmo to Pedri. Pedri to Yamal. Makes a wonderful run here. Yamal tries to make a pass, but his pass gets intercepted. And now AC Milan are in the attack. Here's Noah Okafor, but what a tackle from the number 2. Here's Yamal. What a pass from Rashford, by the way. Still Yamal. Yamal with a wonderful skill move. He finds Frankie de Jong. De Jong to Yamal. Yamal to Pedri. Still Pedri. Pedri to Rafinha, and he gets tackled. I think it's going to be halftime with Barcelona and AC Milan still yet to separate. Still yet to get separated here. And who else but Dani Olmo to score the equalizing goal after that goal that they conceded from Santiago Jimenez, as he scored the vital goal for Barcelona to equalize here. It's half-time. Barcelona 1, AC Milan 1. Alright guys, looks like the second half has already commenced. AC Milan is going to be the one to take it here. It's still AC Milan. They're on the attack, by the way. Here's Modric to Jimenez. Jimenez to Pulisic. But what an interception here from Balde. And now here's Rafinha. Rafinha makes a wonderful pass here to Rashford. Here's Pedri with it. Pedri to Rafinha. Rafinha to De Jong. Still De Jong. De Jong tries to pass, but an interception here from the AC Milan defender here. Gets it away. Here's Okafor. Okafor to Modric. Modric to Jimenez. Jimenez is still on, but I think he's offside. That could have been a chance here for AC Milan to maybe conjure something up, but Jimenez was just offside. But it's going to be substitution here as Alejandro Balde comes off for Christensen. And Kubasi is going to be the one to take it. He actually goes for it. And Barcelona were appealing for a handball, but somehow AC Milan has a possession. Now here's Leao. Still Leao. Leao makes a wonderful cross here. It was a wonderful header here, but what a save from Garcia. And that could have been another chance for AC Milan to get something here, but Barcelona get this one away. And De Jong, he finds Dani Olmo. What a tackle again. And now here's AC Milan are on the attack. Jimenez to Pulisic. Pulisic to Jimenez. Jimenez tries to go for an acrobatic effort, but what a save from Garcia. Garcia goes for Christensen. Christensen to Rafinha. Rafinha to Christensen. Barcelona's next game is against Werder Bremen. Right now, Rafinha makes a wonderful pass. He tries to find the player there. I was a bit lost of words there because I thought Barcelona could conjure something, but I digress from here. But anyway, here's Barcelona. They managed to get this one away, defend properly, and now are on the attack. Here's Pedri. Pedri to Olmo. Olmo to Rafinha. Rafinha to Olmo. Still Dani Olmo. Still Dani Olmo. He's skilled the play. He finds Rashford. Rashford to... I really can't say properly when they're doing tiki-taka. But AC Milan's next game is against Inter Milan, which will probably be a must-watch here if you really are a football fan. Rafinha makes a pass to Yamal and it just could not meet the player. Barcelona has killed their opportunity. They've dominated in the first half and they really just couldn't attack properly. But anyway, here's Rashford. Still Rashford. He gets tackled and it's going to be a corner kick here for Barcelona, courtesy of Malik Thiaw. Substitution here for Barcelona as Dani Olmo comes off for Fermin Lopez, who could probably make a difference here, as this could be a chance for the Catalans to maybe get something here from this corner. Rafinha is going to be the one to take it. He goes long, but AC Milan get this one away. He actually finds Frankie de Jong thanks to clearance. Now it's Fermin Lopez. Fermin Lopez to Pedri. Pedri to De Jong. De Jong back to Pedri. Back to De Jong. Bit of tiki-taka display from Barcelona. Yamal, but he's offside. Yamal. And he actually deserves to get hooked after this, because how couldn't he stay on for some reason? But anyway, Lamine Yamal comes off for Gavi, who could probably create something here in this pitch. But this is very close. Nothing to be separated. Barcelona have already done their changes so far. Fermin Lopez coming on, then Christensen coming on, and now Gavi coming on. Right now, AC Milan are on the attack. Leao makes a pass, but it just couldn't meet the player. Now Frankie de Jong makes a pass to Gavi, and now Gavi's on the attack. Still Gavi. Gavi finds Koundé. Koundé makes a cross. Just couldn't meet the player again. Like, their attack has been awful. So has AC Milan. Not just Barcelona there. And Rashford's effort just couldn't meet on target. Barcelona fans are fuming because that could have been an opportunity for them to take the lead. But looks like Barcelona and AC Milan, they're still yet to score this one. They made so many passes, but they just couldn't find themselves in the net. Right now, here's Fermin Lopez. Still Lopez. Still Fermin. Still Fermin. Fermin finds Koundé. Koundé to Rashford. And Rashford scores. It was inevitable that he would be on the score sheet because he's been in super form recently. Scored the decisive goal to give Barcelona the lead, courtesy of that pass from Jules Koundé. The fans, the players are excited because that was a vital goal that Barcelona needed. What a pass from Koundé and what a finish from Rashford. Magnan literally got dumbfounded right there. That was a simple finish here from Rashford. A tap in, by the way. Could not miss it from there. And Hansi Flick, what a jubilant smile on his face, because that might have given him the lead. But can AC Milan do something here? Barcelona have already capitulated their lead in that Dortmund game, so this could happen. But not when Barcelona does pretty good defending here. But right now, Gavi finds Fermin Lopez. They could literally finish the game here. Lopez to Koundé. 7 minutes to go already here. Here's Rashford. Still Rashford. But he just butchered it. And AC Milan get this one. Here's Leao. Leao finds Okafor. Okafor to Fofana. Fofana to Pulisic. Pulisic makes a wonderful cross here to Estupinian, who's right now already on the attack. He finds Leao. Leao to Jimenez. What a tackle from Kubasi, as that was a vital, but he gives the ball away. Barcelona gives the ball away, but they get it back. Here's Rafinha. Still Rafinha. Rafinha finds Fermin Lopez. Fermin to Pedri. Pedri to Fermin. Barcelona are on the attack. Surely this would be game over here. But he messes it up. And how many minutes of stoppage time is left? 3 minutes of stoppage time. AC Milan have a chance to get themselves back, or at least equalize the game, prevent Barcelona from getting the win. Here's Christian Pulisic. Still Pulisic. He manages to skill the player. Still Pulisic. But just messes the play. He literally almost bodied the Barcelona player. And they decided not to kill the game. They wanted to add some more drama and suspense. Right now, Noah Okafor comes off for Ruben Loftus-Cheek. But looks like suspense will be added. Literally in the dying embers here. Pulisic has it. Still Pulisic. Pulisic to Fofana. Fofana makes a cross. AC Milan are on the attack and they butchered it. That was AC Milan's last opportunity to equalize the game. But it's full time as FC Barcelona are on 3 wins in a row. Getting a huge win over AC Milan. Thanks to a decisive goal from Marcus Rashford. As he scored the match-winning goal here for Barcelona. He's been the hero so far for the Catalans. Of course, Dani Olmo scored the equalizing goal, cancelling the lead from Santiago Jimenez. Fans would be happy. And so are the players. Full time, it's Barcelona 2. AC Milan 1. That was an exhilarating game. And I would tell you, because Barcelona, they've done it again. This is literally like their mantra, man. Conceding a goal first, but then scoring goals after that. They've done that 4 times. They've done it first against Dortmund. They didn't win that game. It was a draw. They did it against Man United, then Blackburn Rovers, and now AC Milan. Where, of course, Santiago Jimenez scored the opening goal for them, but then Dani Olmo scored the equalizing goal. And who else but Marcus Rashford to score the absolute banger of a goal. He scored the match-winning goal. Of course, the Mancunian Pele, the Mancunian wizard, always finds his way to actually score the winning goal for Barcelona and give them the almighty 3 points, because this would have lifted them probably closer to fighting for the title here, because Barcelona with Rashford has been literally unstoppable. So I have a feeling that this could happen. Barcelona can dream. But as for AC Milan, they've been lackluster. They've had chances, but they just couldn't be. But their chances were not that dangerous. So yeah, it's a bit of a shame that AC Milan could not get the. They weren't in the front foot for that much time. So yeah. But anyway, guys, that was the first game. Now the next match of the day week, we have Werder Bremen taking on Blackburn Rovers. So Werder Bremen and Blackburn Rovers had a decent start to their campaign. But let's start with Werder Bremen here. So Werder Bremen in their last 3 games, they had a perfect start. They managed to beat Parma thanks to a solo goal from Keke Top. And the only goal, of course, that too. And then the next game, they're up against Aston Villa, where at their own home ground, they managed to draw the game. Despite actually conceding first, Keke Top equalized the goal. He equalized the scoreline for Werder Bremen, and that's how they managed to get a draw. But in the third game, they were up against PSG at the Parc des Princes. And despite Werder Bremen actually having fight them, they were actually surprised to not concede that much. They only lost 1-0. That was thanks to an only goal from Fabian Ruiz. And yeah, Werder Bremen has 4 points in their last 3 games, which is a sort of a decent start, I would say, for Werder Bremen. But yeah, Rovers, on the other hand, they also had the same thing, literally the same scenario as Bremen, having a perfect start, managing to beat Angers. Then, of course, they drew to Valencia and then lost to Barcelona. But that was not like a close game. That was a huge defeat to Barcelona. But yeah, I mean, Werder Bremen actually, out of all of them, like Werder Bremen and Blackburn Rovers, in terms of it, Werder Bremen has actually done better than Rovers, because Bremen only lost by 1 goal, whereas Rovers in that third game against Barcelona, despite scoring first, they've conceded loads of goals. And that's how they lost comfortably to them, at their own home ground, that too. So yeah, this would be something that Blackburn Rovers need to do. They need to fix their defense line and be more disciplined in their game going, in their games going forward. So yeah. But anyway, Werder Bremen has already made a change in their lineup. So especially from the left back point of view, so Wober is actually not there in the starting lineup. They've actually given Agu. Yes, Agu is actually going to be the player to start in for Werder Bremen, because he has unbelievable pace, as you can see right there. So he has unbelievable pace. So the coach is kind of trusting him to be in the lineup, and hopefully can deliver some points in this match. But anyway, guys, hope you look forward to that. And let's go to Weser Stadion to see these two teams battle out to see who will be on top. Alright, guys, we're here at the Weser Stadion in Germany to see Bremen take on Blackburn Rovers. And as you can see, we have made some changes here for Bremen because the manager thinks that that Bremen really needs to look, their squad needs to look different. And given the fact that both of them actually have they're at the bottom half of the table, so this could mean that this might become something more of a spicy fixture here for both these teams. But yeah, Bremen in their last 3 games, they actually won against Parma, drew to Aston Villa, but then lost to PSG in round 3 in what was a low-scoring affair. Whereas Blackburn Rovers, on the other hand, they did have a very good win over Auxerre, but then drew to Valencia and then lost to Barcelona at Ewood Park. So they really need to bounce back here. Despite both these teams having a decent start in the campaign, we just need to see who will end up at the top of the table at the end of this match week. Right now, let's take a look at the starting lineup here for Werder Bremen. So there are plenty of changes here for Bremen, as I initially told. So they're actually going with the 4-4-1-1 formation. Michael Zetrier is the keeper. Malatini, Stark, Friedel, Agu, Grul, Stark, Linen, Jinma, Romano Schmidt and Keke top. So yeah, Agu and Grul are the players to actually come on. They're the changes here for Bremen. But as you can see, Blackburn Rovers 4-2-3-1 formation. Of course, Ainsley Pearce as the keeper. Britton, Hiam, Carter, Ribeiro, Buckley, Travis, Hedges, Ohashi, Cantwell and Maktarge. And yeah, that's it. Bremen vs Rovers are coming right up. And it's live. Alright, looks like Bremen is actually going to be the one to kick off. And this is actually going to be very feisty here because given the fact that both these teams actually have a decent start, we thought that these teams would not even deserve to even get into the top of the table, given the fact that the biggest European teams are actually fighting. They're mostly fighting for the title. These teams are basically like the punching bag, so they really need to have a perfect start and maybe at least avoid being at the bottom of the table. Right now, Werder Bremen are on the attack. Here's Leinen. He finds Jinma. Jinma to Romano Schmidt, the Austrian. Still Schmidt. Schmidt shoots. It hits the defender. I don't know if it hits the defender or the keeper. If it did hit the keeper, it's a very good save. Right now, it's still with Bremen. And what a save here from Pearce. That could have gone in. But looks like Werder Bremen actually have a corner kick. The green wall is trying to do something here. The fans are trying to do something to see if Bremen can score from the start of the game. Right now, Romano Schmidt goes long. And Rovers managed to get this one away. But it's still with Bremen. It's Jinma, Justin Jinma with it. Finds Nicholas Starch. Starch to Friedel. Friedel to Linen. Linen to Top. Keke Top with it. He finds Leinen. Linen to Starch. Then to... He tries to find Grul, but of course, Rovers... They managed to get this one away. Now here's Buckley. Buckley to Ribeiro. Ribeiro to Todd Cantwell. Rovers are trying to think of getting in, trying to expose the wing area. But looks like the Bremen defenders did just enough. The fullbacks basically. But right now, Bremen have the possession. Here's Keke Top, who has been in form recently. Scored 2 goals in the last 3 games. Of course, scored the only goal against Parma. And then scored the equalizing goal against Aston Villa. So he might probably be on the score sheet here. That is if he actually becomes dangerous in the box. Right now, Jinma has it. But the defenders managed to get this one. Giving away a corner kick to Werder Bremen. The River Islanders are hoping that they could get something here. It's Romano Schmidt to take the corner kick. Is he going to go long again? He is. But Ainsley Pearce makes a simple save. And he goes short, which is kind of a risky move, I would say, from the keeper. But if it actually works out well, then I guess it would be a smart move. Right now, Rovers are on the attack. He finds Ribeiro. Ribeiro, one of the fullbacks here, is already on the attack. He crosses it. But, of course, Werder Bremen get this one away. Here's Starge. Starge to Schmidt. Schmidt to Jinma. Jinma to Malatini. Malatini to Linen. Linen to Jinma. Jinma to Romano Schmidt. A bit of a textbook play here from Werder Bremen. Can they get this one in? Here's Stage or Stage. Finds Keke top. Top to Linen. Or Linen. Still Linen. Linen to Jinma. Jinma to Linen. Linen crosses that one. But just couldn't meet the player. Then Rovers managed to get this one away. Now here's Ryan Hedges. Still Hedges. Still Hedges. But what a tackle here. And Agu makes his first touch here. Who's actually going to be making his debut for the team. His first appearance for the team, by the way. He finds Schmidt. Schmidt to Linen. Linen makes a wonderful cross to Gruel. Gruel to Staha. Stage tries to pass it, but Rovers again. Their defenders are trying to nullify the attackers there. I have a feeling that I'm pretty sure one of these teams are playing haram ball. Either Rovers or Bremen. Right now, Romano Schmidt has it. Schmidt to Stage. Stage to Linen. Linen to Keke top. Keke top to Schmidt. Still Schmidt. Schmidt to Linen. Linen to Jinma. Jinma to... it's still Jinma. Jinma to Stage. Stage to Schmidt. Then back to Stage. Back to Schmidt again. Schmidt to Jinma. Jinma to Schmidt. He tries to go for the angle, but of course, Rovers, man. They're defending so well. And now here's Yuki Ohashi. He finds Ryan Hedges. Still Hedges. Hedges to Ohashi. But what a tackle again from Bremen. The defenders are literally coming on top than the attackers basically. Because none of them have actually created any chances. Mostly Bremen. At least Bremen have done it. But not from Rovers basically. Right now Bremen are on the attack. Here's Linen. Linen to Schmidt. Schmidt to Gruel. Gruel to Agu, who's already made on the attack, but he's offside. Unbelievable. The Nigerian just could not stay onside. His feet let him down, by the way. He could have actually been on the attack, but his boot or heels might have let him down. And Blackburn Rovers might have got this one away. Now here's Hiam. He goes for a big kick. But of course, Bremen gets this one. It's Keke top. Keke top to Stage. Stage to Linen. Linen to top. Top to Stage. Stage to Jinma. Jinma to Stage. Stage back passes it to Agu. Agu makes a wonderful cross to Gruel. This is getting a bit crazy here. I'm literally coughing. Literally. Because these plays are so intense. But Rovers managed to get this one away. Here's Mukhtar Gay. Still Gay. Gay to Cantwell. Rovers are on the attack, but Ton Cantwell messes the play. And it's going to be halftime with none of these teams breaking the deadlock. Both the attackers have had a stinky performance. Keke top and of course Mukhtar Gay. But who's going to win this match? Will it be the River Islanders or the Rovers? We're just going to see if second half can break the deadlock. But halftime, it's Bremen 0. Rovers 0. Alright. Looks like second half has already commenced. And Werder Bremen has already gone for a substitution here. Gruel comes off for Mbangula, who is pretty a speedster in my opinion. So hopefully Bremen can think of actually attacking here. But right now, Rovers are on the attack. It's not Bremen, but Rovers instead. Here's Gay. Mukhtar Gay is on the attack. Gay goes for the angle, but just couldn't... The effort just could not reach the target. And Bremen just managed to get this one away. I have a feeling this is going to be a snooze fest. It might be that Valencia-Parma game all over again. With both the chances just could not meet the target. Relying on probably the stoppage time or maybe the dying embers to really differentiate the game. But right now, Agu finds Mbangula. Mbangula to Stage. Stage to Schmidt. Back to Mbangula. Back to Agu. Can Bremen... They're on the attack. Here's Keke top. Bremen's next game is against Barcelona, which would be a very interesting test here for the Germans. Thinking that if they could actually beat one of the top teams in Spain. But right now, Bremen are on the attack. Linen to Mbangula. Mbangula tries to find the pass, but of course, Blackburn Rovers gets this one perfectly. And now here's Ohashi. Ohashi to Mukhtar Gay. Mukhtar Gay to Ryan Hedges. Hedges to Ohashi. Ohashi's pass could not meet Cantwell there as interception comes in for Bremen. Now here's Ryan Hedges. Hedges to Starge. Starge to Leinen. Leinen to Schmid. Romano Schmid makes a wonderful pass to Mbangula. Mbangula to Starge. Starge to Schmid. Schmid to Starge. Starge to Mbangula. Mbangula to Linen. Linen shoots and he just could not meet the target. The fans knew that this was an opportunity here and they squandered it. Ainsley Pearce just literally looked at the ball, crawling just past the goal, and look at the relief on his face, because that could have been the goal he really could not and should not be conceding. But still, Bremen are on the attack here. They need to find their way if they really are the contenders here. Maybe the dark horses of this team. The dark horses of this campaign. But what a cross here by Ainsley Pearce, as with a simple save. Now here's Travis to Buckley. But as you can see, Bremen has had more chances than Rovers. It might be the home advantage here, playing perfectly for Bremen, but they just could not capitalize it. Now here's Romano Schmidt. Schmidt finds Leinen. Leinen to Mbangula. Mbangula to Friedel. Friedel to Mbangula. And Rovers' next game is against United, who are actually playing poorly in the last 3 games. Not a single win, by the way, so this could be an opportunity for Rovers to maybe get something here. Right now, Bremen are on the attack, and that's a save from Ainsley Pearce, if I'm correct. No, it isn't. I can see the linesman pointing to the flag to the keeper, and it's actually a goal kick. Buckley comes off for Tronstad, but Rovers are just surviving, and Bremen are just could not capitalizing. If Rovers actually score this one, this might really bite them. But right now, it's still with Bremen. I repeat, it's still with Bremen. Here's Stark. Stark to Starge. Starge to Leinen. Leinen to Schmid. Still Schmid. Schmid to Leinen or Linen. I don't know if the pronunciation is correct, but pardon me for that. But anyway, Leinen finds Schmid. Schmid to Leinen. Leinen to Starge. Starge to Schmid. Schmid crosses it to Mbangula. He gets tackled badly. Bremen fans are really appealing for a foul, but I think it's a legitimate tackle here. Rovers are on the attack. Here's Ohashi. Yuki Ohashi finds Mukhtar Gay, who's literally in the open. Gay tries to shoot. It's going to be a corner kick here for Rovers. But looks like substitution here for both sides. Ohashi comes off for Forshaw, and Keke Top comes off for Marvin Duksh. But corner kick here for Rovers. Can they take advantage of this? Despite Bremen completely dominating the possession, it really could be anyone's game. And Mukhtar Gay tried to go for a perfect angle, just could not meet the target. Substitution here for Bremen as Justin Jinmar comes off for Bittencourt. Could Bremen hope for something miraculously? Maybe try to defend this corner here. But still, Rovers are not giving up. They're going for a big one. Just couldn't meet the target. And another corner kick here. Are they defending corners recently, man? And another substitution here for Bremen. They're literally piling off so many players, getting new ones. Starch comes off for Alvaro. What can this man do? But again, another corner kick here for Rovers. The 3rd time in a row, by the way. Can they end this corner? They do finally. But right now, Mbangula's on the attack. He finds Alvaro. Alvaro to Mbangula. Still Mbangula. Mbangula to... He finds Schmid. Romano Schmid goes a bit back. 9 minutes to go. I have a feeling it's going to be another snooze fest here. Mbangula to Alvaro. Alvaro to Agu. Agu to Schmid. Romano Schmid to Linen. Linen makes a wonderful slide pass to Bittencourt. Bittencourt to Duksh, but Duksh gets tackled. Right now, Rovers are on the attack. Forshaw is in. Still Forshaw. Still Forshaw. Still Forshaw. Forshaw makes a pass to Tronstad. Tronstad to Travis. Travis passes it to Cantwell. It's Forshaw with it. Still Forshaw. But what a tackle here, man, from Bremen. They really are not giving up with low staminas here. It's Romano Schmidt. Schmidt to Mbangula. Mbangula with a wonderful cross. Just could not meet the player there. And it's going to be a substitution here for Rovers. Cantwell comes off for Pickering. They're literally piling on so many new players, but they just couldn't make any impact. Right now, Tronstad with it. It's Gay, Mukhtar Gay. Still Gay, and it's a bad error here from Rovers. This might be a last opportunity here for either one of these teams to break the deadlock. Probably going to be Werder Bremen because they're on the attack. Romano Schmidt finds Dux. Marvin Dux to Alvaro. So Alvaro shoots and he misses it. That was a kill-edged opportunity for Bremen to win the game from there. Alvaro. Pretty close to get the match-winning goal here for Werder Bremen. I can't believe it. But I don't think anyone is going to win this match. Looks like they're going to be settling for a 0-0 draw. It is going to be a 0-0 draw, where both these sides still yet to break the deadlock, but failed to do so after 90 minutes. The defenders and the keepers are on top, but just not the attackers. They've been disappointing. But looks like Bremen and Rovers will have to settle for a draw, share the spoils, with none of these sides scoring one goal. But it is what it is. Full time, it's Bremen 0, Blackburn Rovers 0. So the game ended in a 0-0 draw, and both these sides had the opportunity to score the goal, but they lacked their cutting edge, they couldn't separate themselves, and that game ended in a snooze fest. As 0-0 scoreline was the right result because both these sides were kind of inconsistent in their attacking and defensive plays. Especially Werder Bremen, as they had a kill-edged opportunity to win the game. But Alvaro somehow botched his effort wide, and instead of getting himself and the team the 3 points, they were only able to settle for a point. And Blackburn Rovers would be lucky with that because that could have gone in. But luckily for that, Alvaro's effort just could not meet the target. And that could have literally been the difference maker if only his effort reached the target. And that was a crucial blow for the fans who are literally attended the stadium. They've literally wasted all their money, their ticket, for their tickets, because they thought it was going to be an absolute, that this game would be a very good game, but it ended in a 0-0 draw. And especially, what would they really hope? Because this was an absolute snooze fest and they were inconsistent. So yeah, 0-0 result was the right result for them. But it's definitely a right result for Blackburn Rovers because they've literally been dog-walked in most of the attacking plays, I would say, from Werder Bremen most of the time. So they are happy for a draw. But yeah, 0-0 draw is the right result for both these sides. And our final match of the day, we have Bayern Munich taking on Manchester United. Alright, so Bayern Munich and Manchester United's performances have been different. But first, let's talk about Bayern Munich. So Bayern Munich's last 3 games have been kind of underwhelming. They lost to Inter Milan but bounced back to Frankfurt. Bouncing back, getting a win against Frankfurt, but then lost again to Borussia Dortmund. So this is kind of underwhelming for a big team like Bayern Munich. So they really need to bounce back if they really are title fighters. And the only way to do so is to beat Manchester United, who in fact have lost all 3 games. Yes, they've lost all 3 games, losing to Real Madrid, which is kind of expected. Then they lost to Barcelona as well. But then surprisingly lost to Norwich City despite having more talented players than them. Which is kind of embarrassing for a team like Manchester United. So yeah, this could be a big banter season. A big long banter season for the Red Devils. If they really cannot find their way to get themselves back from the ground. Back on their feet. If that's the way I'm supposed to put it that way. But yeah, they really need to bounce back if they really should not, have a long banter season. But the only problem is they're up against Bayern Munich. And yes, I did eventually say Bayern Munich do have an underwhelming, first 3 games. But I'm pretty sure that Bayern Munich will bounce back against United. And given the fact they've already made some change in the lineup, they're bringing Alphonso Davies in the starting lineup and dropping Rafa Guerreiro in the bench just to get some more speed, inject some more pace in the starting 11 and probably impact the team. So yeah, probably inject some pace in the squad. So this could kind of help the team. Whereas United, of course, they're probably going to be not making changes since they're the away team. I mean, I did had a chance to actually change their formation, change the lineup, but I don't think it's allowing me to do that. You can only do that for the home team, so yeah. But yeah, let's see how things go for both these sides. Will Bayern Munich win, or will Manchester United find their way to get their first win of the campaign? We're just going to see and find out. Anyway, guys, I really hope you enjoyed this one. Please make sure to like and subscribe. And let's go to the Allianz Stadium to see the game of the season, which is Bayern Munich taking on Manchester United. Alright guys, we're here at the Allianz Stadium to see Bayern Munich and Manchester United go against each other right here in Germany, in Munich. So as you can see right here, both these sides have not had the perfect start to the campaign. I mean, Bayern, except for Bayern, at least Bayern got a win. But mostly Manchester United, because in their first 3 games, both these sides are languishing near the bottom of the table. But Manchester United, for some reason, they've had the terrible start. I'm not joking. They had the terrible start to their campaign, losing 3 games. Losing to Real Madrid, then to Barcelona, and then, of course, surprisingly to Norwich City. Whereas Bayern Munich, of course, they did lose quite a few matches, but they lost to Inter Milan at the start, but then won against Frankfurt, but then lost to Borussia Dortmund. So both these sides really do need a win in this match week to see if they can fight for the title. Especially Manchester United. Bayern Munich could be they could easily dismantle their opponents at the Allianz. But can Manchester United do something here? We're just going to see and find out. But let's take a look at the starting lineup here for Bayern Munich. Of course, they're going with the 4-2-3-1 formation, with, of course, Manuel Neuer being the man in goal. There is one change in the lineup. Of course, Lema, Upamecano, Tah, and Alphonso Davies. Goretzka, Kimmich, Olise, Musiala, Diaz, and Harry Kane. So Rafa Guerreiro gets dropped for Alphonso Davies. And Vincent Kompany is the manager. And Man United are going with the 4-3-3 formation. Andre Onana is the man in goal. Diogo Dalot, Lisandro Martinez, Yoro, Dogu, Ugarte, Kobe Menu, Fernandes, Mbeumo, Cunha, and Amad Diallo. And of course, Amorim is the manager. But yeah, Bayern Munich vs Manchester United is coming right up. Who's going to win this match? Will it be the Bavarians or the Red Devils? We're just going to see and find out. And it's live. Alright, looks like Manchester United will be the one to kick off first. And of course, they're not going to be going with a punt. Because why would they if they're really having a terrible start to their campaign? But looks like here's Bruno Fernandes. He finds Mbeumo. Still Mbeumo. That could have been a perfect start for United, in terms of attacking play. But Bayern Munich get the ball. But United win the possession here. It's Matheus Cunha. Still Cunha. Still Matheus Cunha. Cunha to Fernandes. Fernandes makes a wonderful pass, but Bayern Munich just managed to get this one away. But it's still with United. Still Diallo. Diallo tries to make a pass, but for some reason, Bayern Munich just managed to get this one. Looks like Bayern Munich are playing safe. And why would they be? They're playing against Manchester United. So they really have to take things seriously. But at the same time, just, try to dominate against the Red Devils since they already have a terrible start. But right now, here's Olise who's on the attack. Olise finds Kimmich. The strong mentality player here. He finds Goretzka. Goretzka to Musiala. Musiala to Kane. But what a block here from Lisandro Martinez. That was a wonderful play from Martinez. But however, Bayern Munich get the ball. It's Michael Olise with it. He finds Kimmich. Kimmich to Goretzka. Goretzka back to Musiala. Musiala to Kimmich. But United get the ball. But Upamecano makes a wonderful play. Harry Kane's the player to watch. Of course, he's been the best player. He's also been the provider for, in recent games. So, he's not been the best, goal scorer, I would say. Not only the best goal scorer, but also the best provider. The right here is Konrad Laimer. Laimer to Olise. Olise to Goretzka. But I think Goretzka might have messed that play. But it was all thanks to Lisandro Martinez there because he's made a wonderful block. And it's going to be a corner kick here for Bayern Munich. And looks like Olise is going to be the one to take the kick. He's actually going to be going short. He finds Musiala. Musiala with it. He makes Dogu a bit of a fool of himself right there. Now here's Olise. Still Olise. Olise to Diaz. Diaz to Kane. But what a block from the Manchester United defenders. I don't know who, but whoever's done that, that was probably one of the best tackles I've ever seen. But right now, here's Musiala. Musiala to Kane. Kane shoots. And he scores. Harry Kane scoring against Premier League oppositions. This is nothing new. As he scores the first goal of this game. The fans are erupted because that was the best goal that Harry Kane has scored so far. Well, for this game. But you got to take a look at this finish. Just did Onana dirty there. And scored the opening goal for this clash. But as you can see right here, the announcers probably, updated right there, because I think when I did it on cut film, the Allianz Stadium just had an English announcer, so right now it's back to a German announcer, which is good. So they have quite a, had some few updates. But let's not talk about the game. Right now, Harry Kane has given Bayern Munich the lead, but right now United are on the attack. Ugarte makes a wonderful pass to Cunha. Cunha tries to pass it. What a pass, what a finish. And that is Bruno Fernandes. The skipper gives Manchester United some hope. Ruben Amorim is happy because that was the best link-up play United has ever had so far. That was a wonderful pass from Cunha. What a pass right there. And what a finish from Bruno Fernandes. I'm pretty sure that was Ugarte. That made a wonderful link pass to Bruno Fernandes there. And tell you what, this was actually a Sporting Lisbon connection, by the way, because both these players played for Sporting Lisbon earlier. Lisbon, of course, Bruno Fernandes played for Sporting Lisbon, and of course, Manuel Ugarte played for Sporting Lisbon before he got, before he got moved to PSG. But right now, here's Bayern Munich are on the attack. Jamal Musiala to Goretzka. Goretzka to Luis Diaz. Luis Diaz to Musiala. Musiala to Goretzka. A bit of a link-up play here. Here's Goretzka. Goretzka to Musiala. Still Goretzka. Goretzka to Kane. Still Kane. Kane to Musiala. Musiala to Kimmich. Kimmich to Olise. Still Olise. Olise to Musiala. Musiala to Goretzka. But of course United get this one. Here's Kobe Mainu with it. Kobe Mainu to Ugarte. Still Ugarte. Manuel Ugarte with it. Still Ugarte. Still Ugarte. Ugarte to Mbuemo. Mbuemo with it. And he messes up the play. Bayern Munich get this one so easily. Here's Luis Diaz. He gets badly tackled. Bayern Munich are going to be getting the advantage here. Here's Luis Diaz. Diaz to Kane. Kane to Kimmich. Kimmich to Musiala. Musiala to Kane. Harry Kane to Goretzka. Goretzka to Kane. Kane to Musiala. Musiala to Kimmich. Kimmich to Goretzka. Goretzka to Diaz. Still Diaz. Diaz tries to make a wonderful pass to Kane, but just couldn't beat it. Now here's Diogo Dalot. Dalot makes a wonderful pass, but of course, a wonderful header play here from Bayern Munich. Here's Kane. Kane to Musiala. Musiala to Olise. Olise shoots. What a finish here from the Frenchman. Bayern Munich are completely dominating this game despite conceding the equalizing goal. What a finish here from the Olise. But what a pass here from Musiala. That was a low-driven shot, by the way. And those goals were basically from a former Premier League players, by the way. Of course, Olise and Kane were players from Premier League, so who used to play in the Premier League, so they're playing in other leagues as well. But right now, Man United are on the attack. Mbuemo shoots, but he just couldn't meet the target. And it's going to be a quick goal kick. United are really taking this seriously right now. But Bayern Munich are on the attack. Here's Kimmich. Kimmich to Diaz. Diaz to Musiala. Musiala to Kane. Kane to Goretzka. Goretzka to Musiala. Musiala to Diaz. Diaz is through. Diaz shoots. And he messes up the play. Corner kick here for Bayern Munich. Olise goes long. It's still with Bayern Munich. Luis Diaz. Diaz to Musiala. Musiala to Kimmich. Kimmich to Goretzka, and what a finish. Bayern Munich are completely stealing the game away from Manchester United there. They're running the game away. What a pass here from Kimmich. And what a finish here from Goretzka. That was literally a perfect finish here from Leon Goretzka, by the way. Just a cheeky play, cheeky finish here from the German midfielder. And Ruben Amorim is fuming. Because how did Bayern Munich score 2 goals very quickly? But it is what it is. Bayern Munich have the lead. 2-goal cushion over the Red Devils. And it's going to be half-time with Bayern Munich having a 2-goal cushion over the Red Devils. But of course, Jamal Musiala pulling the strings, having 2 assists in the first half. As per, AI. And he's done so well, done the dirty work here, so, for Bayern Munich. Because of this, at halftime, Bayern Munich lead over United, 3-1. Alright guys, second half has already commenced, with Bayern Munich of course kicking off. Manchester United do really need to have a comeback. They need to really try to, orchestrate a comeback here, because despite an equalizing goal from Bruno Fernandes, they've literally been kind of gassed off in the dying stages of the first half. Of course, a goal from Michael Olise and then Leon Goretzka's cheeky finish was the reason Bayern Munich are completely dominating this game. But it's still anyone's game, unless if United don't manage to come back here. Bayern Munich have the advantage here. Upamecano to Olise. Still Olise. Olise to Musiala. Musiala to Goretzka. Still Goretzka. Goretzka tries to make a pass, but they mess up. Cunha makes a pass to Diallo. Diallo makes a wonderful dig pass to Ugarte. Still Ugarte. Ugarte makes a wonderful cross, but Neuer was there to mark it. And he does a short pass. Here's Musiala. Right now, Bayern Munich's next game is against Real Madrid, which will probably be a very interesting clash here. Hope you guys are looking forward to that. I will be making this in the match of the day. But what a finish! Oh! And I can't believe it. What happened there? Manchester United, what was that? And with that, Harry Kane just scored 2 goals. I was so shocked. It was a wonderful pass from Musiala. Olise just hit the crossbar. And then somehow Harry Kane in the second attempt manages to control it with his head and then just scored it. Wow, what a finish. And Vincent Kompany was he was shocked to see that happen. Because that was a wonderful finish here from Harry Kane. Like he controlled it with his head. But Manchester United are still in this. Mbeumo shoots and he just gives 1 goal back for United. They are not giving up here. Bryan Mbeumo scores some sort of a goal that could give United the comeback. But right now, Bayern are cooking them. It was a wonderful pass. I believe that was from Ugarte. And what a finish here from Bryan Mbeumo. And look who's coming to celebrate. I think that's Ugarte right there. But yeah, 4-2 already. It's going to be very close. But looks like Bayern Munich are on the attack. Here's Harry Kane who gets the pass. And it's going to be a corner kick because it actually hit the Man United players. However, are United going to go for a substitution? Or will Bayern Munich try to go for a corner? Or will they think that Man United can defend it? I don't think they're going for a substitution. Bayern Munich will take a straight corner. And I'm pretty sure Kimmich is going to go short to Alphonso Davies, who's playing his first game, by the way. Davies makes a wonderful pass here to Kimmich. Kimmich to Davies. And that was not a bad shot from Davies, but a bad one. A bad effort from Alphonso Davies, by the way. And Ruben Amorim is right now in such great relief right now because... Why wouldn't he be? Because it has been a terrible display here from the Red Devils. And United's next game is against Rovers. Hopefully they can get a win here because Rovers have been pretty good, like pretty decent so far. But right now here's Alphonso Davies. Davies makes a wonderful cross, but United managed to make this one. They managed to take this, managed to deal with this pressure. But right now here's Mbeumo. Still Mbeumo. Mbeumo makes a pass to Cunha. Cunha to Mbeumo. Still Mbeumo. Mbeumo to Cunha. Still Cunha, but what a block here from Lima. It's going to be... Are they actually going to be going for a substitution? I'm surprised that no other teams are actually going for a substitution here. They think that they can actually do this. They really think that they can actually pull off their stamina. They really do need substitutions here. I don't know what's going on right here. But looks like Man United are going for the corner. Bruno Fernandes crosses this. And that was a wonderful effort here. But Manuel Neuer makes a wonderful save. Looks like it's going to be a free kick here for Bayern Munich. And finally, Bayern Munich are going to be going for a substitution. And looks like Harry Kane is going to be coming off for Serge Gnabry. As he already scored 2 goals. He deserves to be, he deserves to come off after having such a wonderful display. Does need a breather after what he's performed so far. But looks like Serge Gnabry comes on for Harry Kane. And he's probably done so well performing off the bench. So don't count him off. He is a pretty good substituted player. Basically a super sub for Bayern Munich. But United get the ball. Here's Matheus Cunha. Cunha to Mbeumo. Still Mbeumo. Mbeumo makes a pass here to Amad Diallo. Still Amad. But what a block here from Bayern Munich. Like, I have no words to say here for United. They are the laughing stock of this campaign. Not a single win. And this could be 4 losses on the trot for the Red Devils. But looks like Musiala has it. What a block here. Ugarte is basically the one that is actually carrying this game. 2 assists, I think, if I remember correctly. Here's Mbeumo. Mbeumo to Kobe Mainu. Kobe Mainu to Mbeumo. Still Mbeumo. Mbeumo shoots. And he has given Manchester United some hope. He's also scored a brace like Harry Kane. As he's given Manchester United some glimmer of hope here. What a pass from Kobe Mainu. And what a finish from Mbeumo. I'm pretty sure that was a weak foot goal here from Mbeumo, by the way. But looks like Olise is going to be the one to come off for Kingsley Coman. And he's also done his part scoring a goal for Bayern Munich. So it kind of makes sense for him to, take a breather. But this is actually going to be a game of the season. An actual classical game of the season here. Because Manchester United, despite being in so much atrocities, conceding goal after goal, they are not giving up. And right now, Bayern Munich have the chance to finish the game here. Kingsley Coman has it. Coman passes it to Lima. Lima to Musiala. Musiala to Kimmich. Kimmich to Lima. Back to Kimmich. But of course, United get the ball. If they actually get a draw, this will be a monumental comeback here for the Red Devils. Kobe Mainu to Fernandes. But Fernandes' pass was not blick. And Bayern Munich get the pass. They get the ball. Kimmich. Kimmich to Coman. Coman to Kimmich. Goretzka with it. Goretzka to Diaz. Diaz to Musiala. Musiala shoots. And he scores the dagger. Breaks the hearts of the Red Devils as he scores the winner for Bayern Munich. In what would be a crazy game. Yet again for the Bavarians. Bayern Munich keeps on scoring match-winning goals after match-winning goals. They've done this once against Frankfurt, despite not managing to pull a comeback. But what a finish here from Musiala, man. And then scoring a dagger like this at the dying minutes is literally a cakewalk and a pure magician there. Looks like Bayern Munich will be bouncing back with a win. United, I don't think, will be having a comeback here. They, this time, had the dogs. They really had that dog in them this time. Probably their closest ever. Their best performance in 4 games. The other 3 games was an absolute disaster class, but at least United did perform well. Brian Mbeumo actually scoring 2 goals. Imagine if he actually scores a hat-trick. This would be a commanding display from United despite losing. Here's Mbeumo, but of course, his effort just gets blocked. It's going to be a corner kick here for Manchester United. And it's going to be substitution here for Bayern Munich. Musiala comes off for Bischoff. And boy, Musiala needed this break after scoring a late winner goal. But looks like United have a corner and their effort just couldn't meet the target. But it doesn't matter as Bayern Munich get a win over the Red Devils, beating them 5-3. Thanks to a wonderful performance here from Harry Kane and a match-winning goal from Jamal Musiala. Performing consistently, scored 3 goals in the last 3 games. But you got to give a bit of credit to Harry Kane as he scored a brace against Manchester United. Full time. It's Bayern Munich 5, United 3. Wow, what a pure magical game that was. That game literally went down to the wire. Both these sides, they've played pure halal ball. But it was Bayern Munich that actually got the job done, beating Manchester United 5-3. Yes, 5-3. Thanks to a masterclass performance from Harry Kane. He scored a brace. Olise and Goretzka both scored a goal. But Manchester United, they had chances. Bruno Fernandes actually scored the equalizing goal. He scored the equalizing goal after Harry Kane scored a goal. And then after that, Brian Mbeumo single-handedly got Manchester United back into the game. Yes, Brian Mbeumo was basically Manchester United's only best performer so far. I mean, Dogu and Cunha did score 1 goal, but it was Brian Mbeumo who scored the most. For now, he scored 2 goals for this game. And he thought that he could single-handedly get Manchester United back into the game. But unfortunately for Manchester United and for the Red Devils, Bayern Munich had other plans. And they had Jamal Musiala in the squad. And he scored the match-winning goal, which made sure that Bayern Munich will not slip up. Yet again. Like Serge Gnabry did against Eintracht Frankfurt, Jamal Musiala did against Manchester United. And with this goal, Bayern Munich get the 3 points. They always know how to, end dramatic events. The Bavarians always know how to end the, dramatic, like cliffhangers or so. So, like dramatic matches, like dramatic events basically. Like when they're this close to slip up, they always know how to finish it off. So, yeah. But yeah, as for the Red Devils, they're now 4 losses in a row, still yet to win 1 game, and this could be a long banter season for the Red Devils if they cannot, find themselves back into the game, or in terms of how they are going to be performing for the rest of the season. So yeah, but let's see how things go for the Red Devils because I believe that they can actually do it. But if they keep on losing, keep on dropping points, this could be a long banter season for them. Alright guys, let's take a look at all the other goals in rest of the matches and see how things will be going from there. PSG extended their unbeaten run with a comfortable away victory over Angers. The breakthrough came after a superb pass from Fabian Ruiz, setting up Kvicha Kvaratskhelia who weaved into the box and finished brilliantly to open the scoring. Angers did find their way back into the match after being awarded a penalty following an unfortunate handball by captain Marquinhos, something that the replay can clearly confirm the incident right there. Larsen Sinayoko stepped up with confidence and calmly slotted the spot kick home, sending the goalkeeper the wrong way to bring Angers level. PSG quickly restored their advantage with another slick piece of link-up play between Fabian Ruiz and Kvicha Kvaratskhelia. The Spaniard threaded a perfectly timed pass through and the Georgian responded in style, unleashing a stunning strike that rocketed into the net, sparking wild celebrations from the travelling supporters. Kvicha Kvaratskhelia completed a superb hat-trick to put the game beyond doubt. Latching onto a well-weighted pass from Vitinha, he showed great composure as he guided the ball into the top right corner, extending PSG's lead and capping off a brilliant individual performance. The fourth goal felt inevitable as Desiree Doué picked up the ball after a neat exchange involving Ousmane Dembele and slipped a perfectly timed pass through to Kvicha Kvaratskhelia, who capped off a sensational night by firing in his fourth goal of the match, wellly and truly putting the game to bed. PSG added a fifth to cap off a dominant display. Lee Kang-in found space and played a smart pass through to João Neves, who burst into the box with real pace and composure. He finished confidently past the keeper to grab his first goal of the season, putting the icing on the cake for a rampant Paris Saint-Germain performance. The full-time whistle blows and it's a commanding 5-1 victory for Paris Saint-Germain over AG Auxerre. The night belonged to Kvicha Kvaratskhelia, whose sensational 4-goal performance, including that stunning strike in the first half, rightfully earned him man of the match honours. PSG continue their unbeaten start after 4 games, already showing strong intent as they push early for the title. The clash between FC Nantes and Inter Milan was full of intensity, with the home side bursting out of the gate in flawless fashion. Mustafa Mohamed lashed onto a pass from Sekou Doucouré before neatly slipping it through to Herba Girassi, who kept his composure and calmly slotted the ball home, handing the hosts a stunning early lead. Things only improved for FC Nantes as they doubled their lead before halftime. Mustafa Mohamed turned provider once again, picking out Girassi, who expertly finished from a tight angle, leaving Jan Sommer with no chance. With his brace, Nantes looked firmly on course to secure their first 3 points of the campaign. But early in the second half, Inter Milan had other ideas. Federico Di Marco whipped in a dangerous cross to Marcus Thuram, who cleverly nodded it into the path of Denzel Dumfries. He finished with an acrobatic tap-in to score his first goal of the season, giving the visitors a lifeline. The visitors found their equaliser in the dying moments as Davide Fratesi slipped a precise pass through to Marcus Thuram, who finished with ease before celebrating wildly in front of the away fans, having secured a crucial late goal for Inter Milan. The full-time whistle blew, bringing the match to a 2-2 draw. Despite the absence of a winner, both sides had reasons to be satisfied. FC Nantes claimed their first spot of the campaign, inspired by a masterclass performance from Herba Girassi, whose brace lifted the team's morale and reinforced their belief in their ability to compete and fight back. Meanwhile, Inter Milan could take pride in their resilience, fighting back from 2 goals down to earn a point and maintain their unbeaten run in the standings. Aston Villa suffered a surprising setback on the road, falling to Deportivo La Coruna in an unexpected defeat that few would have predicted before kickoff. However, they eventually found the breakthrough as John McGinn, fresh off a hat-trick in the previous match, exploited acres of space, surging into the box before calmly finishing to give Aston Villa an early lead. But Deportivo La Coruña refused to back down, finding an equaliser within 10 minutes as David Mella squared the ball to Eda Churi, who curled a superb effort past Emiliano Martinez to bring the Spanish underdogs level. Deportivo La Coruña took the lead in the second half as Mario Soriano produced a delightful through ball to Yereme Hernandez, who made no mistake inside the box, calmly slotting the ball into the net to put his side ahead for the first time. The final whistle brought an end to a captivating contest as Deportivo La Coruña secured their first win of the campaign with a hard-fought and impressive 2-1 victory over an in-form Aston Villa. It was a composed and determined team performance, with Mario Soriano playing a key role by delivering the decisive pass that led to the winner. With this result, Deportivo climbed up the table and will look to build momentum, continuing to prove they could be genuine dark horses as the campaign unfolds. AS Monaco secured a convincing win over Borussia Dortmund at the Stade Louis II, setting the tone early. Mika Bierret delivered a perfectly weighted through ball to Bril Embolo, who timed his run to beat the offside trap before finishing superbly into the top corner, giving the home side an ideal start. The second goal came from a rapid counter-attack as Mika Biereth burst into the box, beating Waldemar Anton and Remy Bensebaini. With Gregor Kobel caught in two minds, he finished brilliantly to double the lead and put the result beyond doubt. And they made it count, adding a third as Breel Mbolo produced a stunning piece of skill to bamboozle Waldemar Anton before firing a low shot past his Swiss teammate Gregor Kobel from a tight angle, sealing his brace and a crucial win for the Red and Whites. Full-time at the Stade Louis II and AS Monaco bounced back from recent disappointments with an emphatic 3-0 win over Borussia Dortmund. A superb performance from Breel Mbolo proved decisive, as his brace ensured Monaco avoided another slip-up and secured a crucial result. Meanwhile, Dortmund suffered their first defeat of the season and must respond quickly to prevent their momentum from unravelling. The clash between Valencia and Frankfurt was a true match of the day, packed with goals and end-to-end excitement from start to finish. Frankfurt got off to a brilliant start as Hugo Larsson delivered a beautiful pass to Jonathan Bokart, who showed great composure to tuck the ball into the net with a single touch and give the Eagles an early lead. Valencia found their equaliser early in the second half as Diogo Lopez squared a precise pass to their main man Hugo Duro, who made no mistake in the box, slotting it past Kevin Trapp to bring the bats level. Frankfurt soon regained the lead with Jonathan Bokart turning provider. He sliced open the Valencia defence with a perfectly timed through ball to Elias Skiri, who kept his composure and finished calmly to restore Frankfurt's advantage. Frankfurt's third soon followed, tightening their grip on the game. Elias Skiri found Jonathan Bokart, who cleverly laid it off to Hugo Larsson. Larsson did the rest, curling a superb effort past Dimitrivski to double the Eagles' lead and put them firmly in control. Valencia clawed their way back into the contest with a well-worked goal. Hugo Duro initiated the move with a smart pass to Luis Rioja, who whipped in an inviting cross into the danger area. Fran Perez timed his run to perfection, rising above the defence to power a header past the keeper and breathe new life into the home crowd. In the end, it wasn't enough for the Bats to complete the comeback. The final whistle blew with Frankfurt holding on after a late scare, edging out a thrilling 3-2 victory at the Mestalla. Much of the credit goes to Jonathan Bokart, who delivered a standout performance with 3 goal contributions, 1 goal and 2 assists, proving to be the difference maker on the night. The win lifts Frankfurt firmly into the top half of the table, giving them real momentum and a genuine chance to dream big in the title race. There was no winner in the Real Madrid and Parma clash, but one thing the match certainly didn't lack was goals. Kylian Mbappe received the pass from Tchouaméni before combining neatly with Jude Bellingham in a quick 1-2. The French forward then finished the move in style, drilling a precise low shot past Suzuki to give the Galacticos the lead. Parma struck the equaliser just at the start of the second half as Matteo Pellegrino produced a superb pass to release Jacob Ondrejka. With confidence and control, Ondrejka fired the ball into the top corner, giving Thibaut Courtois no chance as the Italian dark horses fought their way back into the game. The full-time whistle confirmed a 1-1 draw at the Santiago Bernabeu after 90 minutes of intense action. Despite Kylian Mbappe getting on the score sheet, Real Madrid were let down by defensive lapses, with too many mistakes at the back, ultimately costing them 2 points. Parma, meanwhile, will be delighted with the result, having held one of Europe's elite teams to a draw. The hard-fought point will serve as a valuable boost of confidence and motivation as they look ahead to the rest of their season. Juventus edged a tight 1-0 thriller against Norwich City at Carrow Road in a hard-fought contest. The game got off to a bright start for the visitors, as skipper Manuel Locatelli threaded a beautifully weighted pass through to Kefren Thuram, who finished with real quality, striking the ball cleanly past the goalkeeper to hand the Bianconeri a deserved early lead. The full-time whistle confirms Juventus' 1-0 victory away at Norwich City as they held firm defensively to secure all 3 points at Carrow Road. Kefren Thuram proved to be the decisive figure, his spectacular finish ultimately separating the two sides while also delivering a commanding performance in contributing the attacking line from start to finish. Juventus will be delighted with the result as they continue to build momentum, carrying confidence forward as they look to establish themselves as genuine contenders in the title race. At the top of the table, PSG remain unbeaten after 4 matches, continuing their impressive run and holding firmly onto first place. Close behind are FC Barcelona, who climbed to second position following a strong victory over AC Milan. Meanwhile, Eintracht Frankfurt strengthened their hold on 4th place with another important win, further boosting their campaign. Elsewhere, AS Monaco produced one of the standout performances of the round with a dominant victory that propelled them into the top of the standings and renewed their momentum going forward. At the bottom end of the table, AG Auxerre and Manchester United remain without a win after 4 matches, leaving both sides under increasing pressure as the competition begins to take shape. FC Nantes finally earned their first point of the campaign, a result that could prove crucial if they are to spark a turnaround in their season. Meanwhile, Borussia Dortmund slipped down to 12th place following a heavy defeat to AS Monaco, while RC Deportivo de La Coruña moved slightly clear of the bottom 3 zone after producing a major upset victory over Aston Villa. After 4 games, the table is already becoming increasingly competitive, and with momentum starting to build for some teams while others struggle to find form, the coming rounds could prove decisive in shaping the season ahead. There you have it, guys. We finally end match week 4 with style. And of course, it had everything. Barcelona managing to beat AC Milan thanks to a last-minute goal from Marcus Rashford. Werder Bremen and Blackburn Rovers having a snooze fest of a game. Not a single goal being scored in that match. And then Bayern Munich and Manchester United playing in what was the best match of the season of all time, I would say. Scored 8 goals. And we thought that Manchester United almost had they almost came back. But Bayern Munich, they know how to finish it off. And that's how they won in an absolute halal ball thriller here. So yeah. So this week had everything. But let's see how next week pan out. But anyway, guys, I really hope you enjoyed this one. Please make sure to like and subscribe. This is Brisbane05Blaster. Yup. Signing off.